Hello, we're Secret Agent Agency. My name is Kevin. I am as if the meat sweats were personified. And joining me,
You split the sea, you reckon?
I have Andrew.
Knowing.
How's it going?
And Jihun is also here.
Yes, but unfortunately I'm not a mummified alien.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, that was a current event in Mexico, right?
Yes.
I thought you were gonna do something about Unity.
I will bring that up. I will definitely bring that up. Because that topic is fucking outrageous, too.
Yeah.
That's a lengthy conversation.
Yes.
A shorter one might be, for the stream we talked about happy endings, and there may have been a happy ending at that Beetlejuice play.
I didn't hear about that either.
No!
Fuck.
Well, that one's kind of political, that's why.
I have a kind of political thing that I can talk about from local news.
Oh, I can't believe it. Andrew, that was beautiful. Oh, Andrew, that's beautiful.
I have a question. So, I had an idea because I really want to do like at least like one video of us just going ham on side quests, and I know it's gonna bum me out. I was thinking of either doing it right at the beginning or right at the end of tonight's stream, and I was thinking about like doing an extra like hour and a half recording of it. Would you guys like it if, like, I'm going to run long tonight? Would you like me to start with side quests or end with side quests?
Just get it over with. Rip that band-aid off.
Yeah, because I think we got a lot of topic we're gonna talk about, and it's perfect for.
Okay.
It's a perfect topic to cover while the side quest is happening. So.
I don't know if you reached the point where you're gonna like let these characters drone on or not.
We'll see. Goots is cool. But yeah, I'm just gonna pick up a bunch of the side quests. We can talk over them. I don't care.
Okay. So, the biggest topic of this week is the Unity. So I'm assuming everybody's aware of the situation, or?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Okay.
I'm aware of it.
Kevin? Okay,
Yeah.
but just in case for viewers, if we do have viewers, the context is the Unity CEO, which I found out that he was a former CEO of EA, and who even suggested the idea of charging people for reloading a gun. Back to Unity. He suggested that every developer from now on should pay Unity like 20 cents, maybe up to 20 cents per installation. Of course, this is freaking out some people because that means even if let's say there's no drama between the developer and the players. Even one install is 20 cents, and then times that by 100, that's like let's see, 10, that'd be $120. So the number keep going on. Like say let's say 1 million people played and enjoyed, and that adds up to like $200,000. That's no bueno for the small time developers. Like Vampire Survivor, for example, I think that's what $2 without the discount. Let me double check.
I think it's a little more. It might be like 4 or 5 without a discount.
Okay, it is $5. But still, point being is, yeah, the Unity wants to do that, and of course, developers definitely not happy about it, and of course, it gets shadier because people can find that out, which is not so secret when you're actually into that kind of field or the stock market. The fucking CEO already sold his stocks before making that announcement. So take how you want to with that information, but yeah.
You can buy it back at a bargain.
Is it insider trading if it's your own company you just torpedoed?
Oh, that's actually a good question.
So it's fun reading like the follow-up doubling and tripling down on like the quote-unquote clarification of like what it all is. But it's just funny where like what they're suggesting with Unity, which is primarily used, I would say, by mostly indies. It's used elsewhere, but mostly indies make heavy use of it.
Oh,
versus like say, Unreal.
I just add a little to the statement. Actually, one of the biggest player in the market is actually using Unity, such as Honkai 13 Impact, Honkai Star Rail,
Genshin Impact, yeah.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
Even some Pokemon games are using it.
Yeah.
So
Hardly there were a time when I
so
turned
these
a
big
blind eye
players
to the wretchedness
are
of
not
the
gonna be
world so
happy
I could
about
line my
it. So
pocket.
yeah, go.
Oh,
So
and
you
I just
said
wanted to say Genshin Impact and like all the Honkai games and stuff are all free to play and install. So
Yeah.
they're losing 20 cents per install. They're like because there's no purchase there.
I don't
Okay.
think it applied to free to play, but like to give you like a comparison is like
I
with
reckon you've
Unreal.
got better things
My
to do
understanding
than
is that
pointing
it's
your do-goody
5% of
finger at
revenue
a
for the
Pokemon
game
woman.
over
Of course.
the first 1 million
Yes.
is what the compensation is for making a
That's
single engine.
I believe that's also the kind of case-ish for the Unity in the very beginning when the CEO had a fucking brain in the head.
Yeah, but once again with like Unity like indies, how many of them actually
spoke with Lady
take
Karen.
over that amount?
What did she say?
That the rumors were unfounded.
I don't know. It's just like
And that I was a fool
all
for thinking they
fucked
might
up.
hold any
Like
truth.
the
Very
whole
fucked
idea,
up.
and
Along with some other things.
I don't know what like some of like the developers coming out and just
While
like
it sounds
their
like she
responses.
may have done
It
things
sounds
she regretted
really shitty
in
for
her
them.
past.
Some
Yeah.
of the
She
I
says
forgot
those
the
days are behind her.
Slay. I
well,
forgot the actual full
that's
title.
good. I knew
What's
Nun
that
wasn't
game with
caught
the
up in
Slay in the
Outbad.
title? Slay the Pyre? Or...
Slay the Spire.
Yeah, they gave the public
Did she ever do
notice
with
or something like that,
It's
and
not right,
at the
is
end of the line, they said like,
It's not.
we never give a public
People do
notice
things
before.
for all
This is
sorts
how
of reasons.
badly you fucked up Unity.
Perhaps we'll never know.
They actually
Yeah.
literally wrote that. Like,
Yeah, I
Wow.
heard some public stuff from Cult of the Lamb.
oh yeah, that's actually being used too.
Yeah.
Because they straight up said after, right now the initial proposed date
Whoever's
for
spreading these rumors means Karen ill.
the Unity for them to implement that policy to be January of next year, and then Cult of the Lamb said we'll stop, we won't have that on the market anymore.
I suppose it is.
Yeah, this is everybody's freaking out, both player and the developer, and then to be a little bit political of this topic. So people are so afraid that very hateful players will abuse the system, as in like, let's say the game happened to have like LGBT character or rated topic, and then some people are, oh my god, this game is so woke, and then they're just gonna maybe implement a bot program to install or quote unquote install the game that they're not gonna play, and then by doing so it'll charge the game developer insane amount of money for doing that, you know.
Another fun wrinkle is that Steam doesn't particularly give per installation info to developers and publishers and stuff.
Wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped.
So Unity has gone out and said that they are doing it algorithmically somehow. So it's not, the 20 cents per installation isn't even going to be based off of a real number. It's just a number that they're making up.
I've never been one to
Yeah,
play
I
favorites
remember reading
money,
that.
and I would be only too happy. to
It's
lend you a
like,
hand.
what?
What's on the menu this time?
At that point, if Steam does not cooperate with Unity, which is no reason to think they will, you know, like, how is it even legal? You know?
Only turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what
I don't know.
thought they were.
Interesting
At least I
times
hope they're
ahead.
not, given the rancid mess they made.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth got a release date. It's pretty early
I
next
am-
year, right?
I got lots to say about that.
Yes.
Wow,
I'll start.
that's a
Go ahead,
question
Ian.
for a scholar.
I guess I'll start just
Perhaps
please.
you know of one?
I am fucking happy that they
Tiny
brought
old
all the
fella
goals
amongst
on
the
certain
shelves,
minigame.
maybe?
Yeah.
Even some of them look still like the polygon looking. I'm like, oh my god.
And if
I
he
am
does, I'll
impressed
see if
on
I
that
can
one,
find
yes.
your
I
ingredients
was
for you.
really interested to see the shot of the Ferris wheel ride that you go on a date with your companion with. But it has like all the girls with Cloud. It's an interesting way to do that, because I don't really know if there's like flags in the first game or not about like relationship points.
Oh,
and
so
all that.
you didn't hear about that update?
Oh no, I only watched the trailer.
I can certainly
So they straight up
gone missing this
confirmed
time.
that the game data from the first game will not be transferred.
Mid-scales.
That makes sense.
The ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the
Okay.
little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson,
So what do you want to add,
my
Andrew,
first thought was that they'd
regarding
taken
the
them off
topic?
somewhere to play, but then I
Oh,
asked this,
so
or they had
I
been
think
looking
it's
to
still
them,
available
having
right
disappeared. which
on the
almost certainly
PSN
means they
store
had everything to do
that
with
you
it.
can get like a crazy bundle for $70 that has both Final Fantasy VII Intergrade and the pre-order for
I
the
think it
upcoming
just
Final
might.
Fantasy VII
Thank
Rebirth.
you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me.
So since I don't have a
Perhaps I'll have no
PS5, I did
choice
not
but
jump
to
onto
disappoint them
Gun, but like,
accordingly.
I'm
They
still
weren't
wondering
really
if
when I last saw them.
they're
As
going to
is.
just keep it separately, or at the end of it they're gonna say like 3-game bundle. I wonder. I'm still not sure, but then again, the fact that they confirmed that the dual data is gonna be transferred make me think there won't be a bundle. So I'm really I'm like, should I buy the game now or should I wait? Yeah.
Like if you see yourself getting it in the near future and you don't have the first one on PS5, the bundle sounds amazing. It's
Yeah.
basically $35 a game.
Uh-huh.
I will add, if you have any plans on getting PS Plus, Final Fantasy VII Intergrade is a part of that.
Oh shit. Anything else you want to talk about that? Do you find this?
Yeah,
trailer?
Andrew said he had a lot to say.
My understanding is that
No, I'm just waiting for Andrew.
that it's going to conclude at the Forgotten City. Is my understanding. There's like a subsequent. That's surprising. I was expecting it to go up to the Northern Crater because I felt like that would be a more appropriate
What do you reckon?
conclusion. If it's like the second of a three-part act is kind of like, you know, heroes on their lowest point, whatever. Having lost Aerith and then losing Cloud to be like an
Isn't the
appropriate-
Northern Crater like pretty much the very end?
No, you lose Cloud and then it switches to Tifa and like the weapons get let loose.
No.
Okay, so you're
okay.
Well,
okay.
not anymore, it's not.
That's why I always thought it would go up to there.
Just how long hasn't it been?
I don't know.
That
I don't
makes
feel like
sense.
that's enough game left.
But we didn't break
Also,
But I mean, they can
based
stretch
on
it
the-
out however they want.
dismembered.
Yeah, but on the
Just like
game
the
trailer
control
itself, like,
triggers.
Miss Mididol.
the weapon is kind of hinted.
Why would she have you dismember
Yeah, they're there.
her creations?
So
That's the only way to become.
I am really
engineer.
curious how much content they're gonna cut.
The best way I see
I'm
out
curious
of
how the fuck
work
you'd fight
is
the
to take it
weapons or
apart and
the
put it back
gameplay
together
style of
again.
those games.
Well,
Those
then,
fuckers are
half done.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you,
Carry
I
on.
think you might end up like games like this. They usually make you fight their body parts.
About that.
Taking
Sin.
apart was easy enough, but
Yeah.
it's the putting back. we
Like,
can't work.
granted, it was RPG style, but like
Speak for
in the
yourself.
Final Fantasy X, you fight like Sin with from body parts. That as an entire thing.
I hated that fight, by the way.
Because you sucked at it or
You
what?
three need to learn to take
No, it's just
responsibility
it
for your
wasn't a
actions.
very fun fight.
So let's have a look at these parts with
Oh, okay.
fresh eyes, shall we?
Was it because the airship moving was involved? Or what?
Yeah, that was a big part of it, I think.
Oh, what the fuck
That's
is this?
that's cute. That's cute.
Yeah. Let's
All
see.
right.
And then what else
Everything
did I
here
want to talk about?
was once part
There was something-
of Miss Mididol's scales.
Yeah, there was a. I'm watching through the video right now.
And each
Yeah,
is
so
just
there's that
as important as
the
the
marching
others.
mini game.
If
So it
either one of them is
seems.
missing, the scales won't work.
Then,
let's think
oh,
about
the
what those all
Cosmo
mean.
Canyon. Oh my god, I got actual chill.
The body.
Talking about the trailer. Yeah, so we're at the Sephora
Hi,
prospect.
we're back, by the way. We are back.
Hi, back.
Which part will you inspect? The pants, gear. Anyway,
Metal Gear.
the weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
Okay. We're here. Let's look at the pans.
Are called the pans.
Yeah, because it was present for me too. Like I couldn't play the game or
Nobody
anything.
uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers.
That's amazing. And
That's
speaking
of
not
that
kind of subject,
bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff.
so I'm swapping from
What if
Cox
I wanted to
to
weigh
a different
boots?
Verizon
Didn't
option.
think you'd fit on that little thing.
I
Yeah,
don't
let's
know,
swap Cox.
Probably not.
How well it'll work out because
What are the chains for?
I had FiOS before
Hands up.
at the
Okay.
old place.
Well spotted.
That is still
Which
the
means
best
some
internet
things
I've
hold the
ever
chains
had.
up in turn.
Uh-huh.
And even with that, Kevin and I couldn't play Pokemon Online together.
God damn.
This tiny piece
And
It's
it's
is
not
what's called a cog
it's
wheel.
not our internet connection. I'm telling you.
Have you ever seen
Yeah,
it
I know.
before?
But I was looking at because they expanded the options here at the apartment because there's only Cox initially. and I can now switch to Verizon 5G Home Plus. And I am aware that there are actually close by 5G towers. Also, I wasn't even aware that this was like a form of internet. How knowledgeable are you guys on that subject?
Oh, over 5G? I wouldn't.
Somebody ate it.
Not my fault.
When I looked it up,
weighing
it
it
seemed
for
like it would be
lunch.
equivalent with what
No,
Cox
a
can give
part's
me.
supposed to move.
The only thing I'm going to
How
lose
it's
is
supposed to
upload.
move.
Apparently, upload isn't as
Let's put the pieces together
beefy
first, see
over
what doesn't
5G.
move, and then stick
Well,
the
it's a lot
keyboard to
cheaper
that.
though, right?
Not a bad idea.
Considerably cheaper,
You see?
especially if I
Yeah.
combine it with
It's
a
not so
Verizon
difficult.
mobile plan.
Yeah. So for me, they're offering the same thing here,
Now that we've taken stock of the
5G internet
parts
for
and learned what
far
they
cheaper than
do,
what I get,
what do you
but
think?
I
I
think we've got it.
have fiber and
Here's what
it's
we'll do.
nowhere
You
close.
tell me what goes
Like,
Yeah, if you
it
got
is-
fiber, I would never
Put the
drop
scales
fiber.
together.
I think I'm literally 10 times what that internet would
Obviously,
provide.
you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms
Where's the
go
cool
on
Yeah.
fiber?
just like real arms.
I have
Holdings,
I
if
guess they're
they're a
Lumos
jumbo.
now.
And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good.
But I mentioned Pokemon, and this week they had the new DLC release.
Oh yeah, the whatever mask
Yes.
is.
We did.
I looked at the
Until
designs. It
Mask.
looked like the design of the Pokemon looked
Oh, I'll
pretty
just put the
cool.
pieces together.
The
The
new ones.
Poison
The
Legendary
engineers
Tree are
showed
pretty
me
cool
how.
looking.
I think they are based on the
Miss hairs.
Her hairs.
Japanese folklore about story about
Hairs for the
Momotaro.
future. She
The
should
boy
I was
who
gonna
was
guess
born-
like, is it like a
so
Knot
we
of
can help out
Destiny
the
or
hideaway
something?
When we're older.
It's
What do you
a
think, Sid?
story about the
With a little more help from
Peach
this $50 mission.
boy who was born from Peach to
Say it won't be long
defeat
at
the Oni, and he's
Okay.
You hear
he's
that?
accompanied by the
Won't be long.
three animals:
Until then, though,
monkey,
try
dog,
to be
bird.
honest with me, Shirley.
Okay.
So that's why they some of them look like monkey, bird, and all that. So,
Look,
I didn't get very
Where's
far
the
because I've been
cobweb?
busy at work all week. When I get home, I
I
was
don't
just
think
fucking
Sid
tired.
forgot about it.
But even when
You're-
the shrunken world map for that area, it's still the same shit as the base game as far as the like moving around and getting into battles. It's so annoying and frustrating with the fucking game.
you
I
actually
hear
did
the
work.
game. I hear the game runs pretty great on consoles not named the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I think I shared before, like someone doing like making it play at like 60 frames with like
Yeah.
no stuttering or drops, and it looked actually fucking great with that.
Bad companies seriously need to like get their shit together.
I'll see how it plays in the Switch too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like maybe Switch 2. But what they're probably gonna do is like make the original like not compatible to Switch 2, so you have to buy it again.
Stace. My
Oh
Lord Marcus.
fuck!
I'm calling it
Well,
now.
no, it'll be a re-release of Pokemon Scarlet Plus and Violet Minus or whatever. Like, what do they do? Like Sun Moon was Ultras? I don't know.
Yeah,
Something
Ultra
again like
Sumo.
that.
My Lord.
Going back to the Final Fantasy.
Perhaps
Do
he might.
you guys remember where you fight the
His author.
Material Keeper? I
His
had no
condition
recollection of
continues
that.
to worsen,
Oh,
though he does his best to hide it. The
was
Legion
that
That's-
in
pays
the
man
like the
each
snowy
passing
mountain that you snowboard down?
Feared as much.
No, that's a different
There are
thing.
certain
You fight
Oh.
it on your
ease the
way up
suffering of
to,
those
I
afflicted by
think,
the
the
curse,
reactor in Nibelheim.
But
Right.
Yeah,
But
okay.
His Grace's case is severe.
I know you learned Trine from it,
The
right?
drafts I have been able to prepare for him thus
We talking
far
about that
have
guy?
ceased to have any
I
real
think so.
effect.
Trine can only be
So I
gotten from
consulted with Talia
one and done
certain of my
bosses, and that's one
comrades
of
among the
them.
Undying
Also,
the
Godo
possibility
and
of finding
Wutai.
something
Mhm.
stronger. And thankfully, a recipe was found.
Because yeah, some people are like saying, "Oh, it's the Material Keeper." I'm like, I looked it up and like, what that was a Material Keeper again? I looked it up like, I had no recollection of this boss.
I'm so hoping the opening is just like like your Cloud, Zack, and Sephiroth, and like maybe with occasional intercuts to them in the room and Calm, kind of doing
Oh,
the flashback.
did you guys notice the in the battles where you're Cloud and Sephiroth? Did you see their really cool teamwork?
for Joshua, anything.
Like, look at the way they fight together. It's really cool.
My lord.
So,
Uh,
Wait a minute.
what is
Huh,
this
material-
ingredient?
it's actually
Herb by the name of
it's actually
Sony.
Cloud and Sephiroth that's fighting against the Material
It
Keeper.
grows only where
Yeah.
the ether is densest.
I guess they just placed
Sugar it stores in its
the
stems helps to counteract the curse.
monster in a different location story-wise. That's
Well,
like
no, well, yeah, and story-wise, but it's in the appropriate location because
Yet more ether
that
has
story
erupted
beat
from the
happens
earth
at
there recently,
Nibelheim.
leaving the whole area.
Oh, okay.
The search continues for a new source, one that we might reach without being turned.
You can tell my memories of Final Fantasy VII that aren't in remake are all kind of scattered everywhere.
Is unharmed by the flood.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about buying
Yes,
7
but-
Remake earlier in the
I
deal
shall
and
go in
stuff.
your stead.
If you are a physical games collector, it's
lord.
already too late for
Yet
you,
to
by the
find
way.
another source, correct?
The
So for now, the aqueduct is our best
PS5
hope.
North American
Besides,
Final Fantasy VII Remake
dominant.
is out of print and you
Even
can't
on
buy it new.
Well,
That's
if
incredible.
you're sure, my
I
lord.
know.
Stoner Ward was
Meanwhile, I
easily
think they're still
identified by its
printing the
blood-red
PS4
blooms.
version,
Search around the
and
aqueduct.
it comes with a
You're
free
sure to find
PS5
some soon
upgrade,
enough.
and
I shall
you
remain
just
here
you buy the
and prepare the other
DLC and
ingredients.
you're good.
I mean, this
But-
is exactly the situation where, like, whatchamacallit, if they once they reach the third one, they release the
yeah, I'm sure they're gonna release like a triple pack or something. But like, whatever.
I'm starting to think like I should, for some games, I should buy games like if it at a decent price, not aim for the like 75% discount or something, because I feel like with the games company overall, they're trying to they're not paying attention to the physical copies. It's just like physical copies okay, but digital copies not that weird. Like with that kind of attitude, I feel like I have to buy some physical copy as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'm gonna miss them.
Did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children
It's just so weird because sometimes like physical copies go out of print and suddenly they're like $90 to like $200 for like
No, Mid will have
just
my
a
head.
disc in a box, you know, because they don't come with manuals anymore.
Might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who wanted
That's
to
kind
teach
of
them a
annoying,
lesson.
but also
I'm
there's
so
like
sorry,
other
Sid.
games where
I'll
like the
have to
physical
do well.
copy is
I
like
shall see that the
$5
children are properly punished.
and the digital
Please,
copy's
Mr.
like
Lee.
30, and
Yep.
it's
Seems to have
like
taken the three of
that's
them under
funny
her
too.
wing.
Like I don't know, it's
She's
so
even calling them her heirs.
you end up with like these weird
have them
like
following her
disparate game
footsteps.
libraries, I guess.
And her father's.
I mean, this is exactly why so many companies are preferring the
Sid,
digital
you
copy
know
because
that
they
Elgato
have
has
control
been spending so
control
much
with their
time at the
price
Hideaway
wise,
of late.
and that's
So
why
because her studies have been interrupted by
Atelier
this
shares never
outbreak.
never go more than 25% discount.
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission.
Oh, you want a
In
discount?
exchange
Here you
for full
go.
tuition,
But
room and board,
this discount
they
is
asked her
same
to
as
oversee the design
before.
of several new
You want a
war
discount,
machines.
right? So shut the fuck
Anyone
up and
else
buy
it
your
would be an
game.
opportunity.
Man, I just want to say, I will open my wallet up for Atelier games. They kept me nice and comfy and sane during COVID.
But that should come as no surprise.
You know,
She's only
I
ever cared
think I
about
played
bringing
like
people
4 or
hope.
5 of them throughout
The very last
COVID.
thing war can be said
Holy
to
shit.
do.
I know.
Explains her heirs.
I played the Dusk trilogy,
She's working to get them out
Ryza, and
And so should we.
I forget what it's
What's
called,
the
but the like
engineering lesson?
anniversary like town
You've
building
given them
one.
far more than that, and I'm sure
Huh.
they're very grateful.
And then Final Fantasy. Oh yeah, I see some new summon Alexander Odin. Fuck yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You could really go all the way up to Bahamut with the remake.
Hmm.
Wait, did they introduce Bahamut in the first one? I'm like fucking
Yeah.
tripping.
Oh,
Yeah,
so then
there's
you go
there's
on
3
the,
versions of
VR
Bahamut.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. The remake, first remake.
The stew's awfully.
Yeah, the first remake goes up to just Bahamut 1. But in your OG game, you didn't get, like, the very first summon you didn't get until Chocobo Ranch, and that was Chocomog.
Mhm.
Oh, you're right.
Whereas you get Chocomog, I think, just before the second
There's no way of
reactor.
knowing if Doris will
in
confide in me.
remake.
But I can speak to her at least.
Ooh, that was quite a
Yeah, dual
topic.
capture suite. I would presume they like introduced it during that flashback sequence with Clive and Sephiroth teaming up.
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
So I have some personal news to discuss.
Lay it on us.
I mean, if you feel comfortable with that, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I don't mind. So I have accepted a new position at work that's not an IT position. I also got a substantial raise.
Speak to Blackthorn just in case.
I effectively got poached by another department, which is pretty cool. It's gratifying. The time I start transitioning over to my new role is currently being disputed.
Huh?
You seemed well enough when I last saw him.
One side wants me to start in November. The other side wants me to start around February.
I'm assuming the longer one is the IT, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yes, you got it. They want to keep me around, but you know,
shouldn't he be asking Otto for help?
I'm just happy to I guess have some security, not have to go back out into the job market. I dipped my toe in it and it wasn't a good time. So I'm happy to have a place.
Blackthorn.
It's gonna work out well for me, I think.
Not really, no.
So basically I'm just gonna be processing paperwork for accountants and designing instructions and documentation and things like that.
Even after learning the
Man, if you move to a different job and they look at your resume like, man, you did a lot of things, haven't you? Different thing, at least.
Yeah, I definitely have like a jack of all trades thing going on. I don't like doing the same thing for long periods of time, you know?
Right. I mean, honestly, this is why, like, during my younger days in college years, like, if I could, I would, changing my job every 6 months and trying out different things, you know? But, you know, that's easier said than done.
Yeah. So I was told that this new job would have some, like, peaks and valleys where, like, there would be times where it was, like, very busy, but I think even at its busiest, I don't think it's as bad as what I'm currently dealing with at work.
Right.
And it's going to have some slow time. And I see the guys down there like regularly playing video games and shit. So I think I'm gonna be in good company.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. See what I can find out.
Like one guy's just like fucking double queuing and on chess.com all the time.
Master Blacksmith being distracted.
What.com?
Chess.
Playing chess.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm not grateful for it. Good luck.
Not anarchy chess though.
Thank you.
No.
Oh, the chess. Okay, now.
See what Karen knows about
yeah, chess, like the pieces in the board, pawns and kings.
I thought you said
queens.
chest, or I thought it was like some battle chest or something.
Game 1 level below checkers.
Woof.
Tell me we've run out of
Woof.
I got your note.
Also,
Something's wrong with talking.
So you can read.
kind of a personal note again. A local coffee shop had a major issue with paying their workers, and all their workers walked out, and the place is closing down. And then after it closed down, somebody smashed up the windows.
Huh.
Is that it, boy?
This was a place I spent a lot of time at, and went to shows, listened to good music, hung out with good people, and it's gone and in a way literally destroyed.
Was it? I mean, was the owners actually being greedy and like, I don't want to pay the worker based on the news?
Perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, it also kind of just sounds like they, like, after COVID and stuff, like, they never got all their business back as much as they needed. Like, that's a part of it, too. So, I don't know if it's greed or just sheer inability.
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn.
Fair enough.
Single
When you put it that way.
and extremely sharp.
Running around
Yeah.
again, are you?
COVID definitely
But I need to help him
did a
find
lot
out
of things.
what
It changed some
happened.
people. It showed the
Driving
true
into
nature of some
distraction.
people. It did a lot of things.
Little wonder, I suppose.
Yeah, Jihun, you may know
There's not many
it
like
wasn't
that make it as far
any
as
of the ones that
trains,
were
and
like
those that do
on
go straight into
campus
private collections.
where I used to go to
Which made it
college,
nice and easy
but it was
finding
like the most
buyer.
popular choice if you're
Tell me
willing to
about
go
it.
just a short way
Where
away.
is it now?
I see.
Think I tell
Does that
people
tell you what
who
it
buy
is?
are?
No.
Suppose you're not
Well,
Okay.
I think.
go nicking it
So
if they are
my
down.
cousin,
Fine. If
I
you
think
stop
she
mooning at
posted
the
something quick on the
hideout.
Instagram
Lord Ignorance, the
shorts,
man you want. They'll make it
and
work.
I saw
Drugs, weapons,
the
and
place.
the
I
like.
think it started with
Got
G,
more
right?
money than sense, which
Yeah,
is
it
why he's
does.
one of my favourite
Uh,
clients.
So
Reckon he'll
then
stick
I saw
with
that
you
picture, and I'm like,
where
I
he
do not
left
recall
it.
this place.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
And he's a touch
I spent a lot of time there. It was
I
a
mean-
bummer.
I mean,
I appreciate
what is
the
it?
warning.
Look, I didn't have a lot of college friends, okay?
Hmm.
So that's why I didn't go to like coffee shop and shit. And besides, most of my free time was spent on me helping my mom's at gas station.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like she brought this up a long time ago. She was asking like,
Where are you?
how come you don't hang out with your friend?
Can I help you, Sid?
I gave her that stare at the moment she said that.
I'm looking
Because
for
I'm
Doris.
helping you on the
Is she
fucking
here?
Saturday and Sunday.
Afraid not.
You asked me
She's
to
at
do
Martha's
this, and now
rest
you're
on
asking me if I. You're asking me now why don't I
When she heard what
spend
the mission was,
my time?
she insisted on going.
Maybe she
with my
thought you'd
friends
put
and-
up more of a fight.
Did she? What was the
I don't
mission?
know. I don't know what she was thinking.
Following up on some
Ah,
information.
I mean, it's
Once
past
they'd
topic,
settled
so.
it, the bearers
Yeah,
who were
yeah.
liberating the dragon's eyrie were keen to talk
And
about
to be,
them.
I mean, and then to be frankly fair,
Capped her.
it's not like I was actually
Close to
actively
the
looking
tragedy
for
attacked by the beastmen.
to make a friend
Find
at
her.
the time
She's
anyway.
at
I don't
Martha's
know. I
rest,
just
you say?
never felt like
She's
it.
moved on already.
Didn't click with any
I
of the
hope
people,
everything's
so like,
alright.
yeah.
Would Doris insist on going alone? Maybe Cole was right to be worried.
Oh yeah, I think she. Well, actually, I think she brought this up during the high school. Yeah,
Clive,
like she was asking how come. Yeah, like I wasn't hanging out with my
that's why I'm here.
friends and whatnot. And then even in high school, like, so I'm busy supporting you in the fucking gas station because we have a hard time
Is this better?
hiring anybody in general.
A little.
I mean, you know what's a funny thing about hiring help?
Bad news.
I mean, it's just
It
okay. I know.
turns out the hideaway
Sometimes
might be
we just want somebody to be
slightly
normal,
behind
like
its
no
payment to
fucking
certain lenders.
shady ass background, no history of crime or
My
anything like that.
fault. But I swear
And we're
to
not
goodness,
asking to like,
I thought I
you
had the
know,
numbers
we're not asking
square.
to hire like
Say,
Einstein
square,
and or improve
Yeah.
our business. We just want somebody simple, but no, even that is difficult when you're trying to hire somebody for gas station.
I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's gonna take some time.
Some of them are asking for a lot. I'm like, we're like, dude, this is the fucking gas station. If you want the money, go somewhere else. So like, get a job at Walmart or some shit.
What a surprise!
Yeah, it's just
So let me get this straight.
yeah. As if anybody who's watching this happen to be plan to be a small business owner,
You get
that's the worst part. Is you definitely need an extra hand, and you need to hire them.
Clive,
And even if the money is no question because you're so successful, it's just so hard to find somebody who's just not suspicious at all.
Who needs
Hmm.
oh,
And I don't mean by suspicious as in like stealing
Criminal
money.
activity.
Yeah, and
well,
there's more, and then suspicious is sometimes could be applied to intelligence. Like they're acting smart, but are they actually smart? You know,
5 million?
Sure.
like one of the cashier that we had was like she'll be reading her book like 90-degree, like her eyes fixated to the book when there's people walk in.
I must have made some.
I'm like,
sort of-
bitch, people are shoplifting left and right, even when we look at them. So why the fuck are you looking at the book?
Were my responsibility.
You know,
Good story.
And it was my decision to
Yeah.
entrust them to you.
only time that would make me do that is if I was reading
You have that
Overlord.
much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No,
Oh man, I dropped off that so hard.
you won't. We've lightened Lord Rossfield.
Speaking of which, let me do this because we haven't done this for a while.
He deserves
Oh,
better than to
yeah.
see our begging bowl. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand.
I have watched nothing and read nothing. Enjoy, fellas.
All right.
So, a series, the one series that I highly recommend because it just ended.
There might be.
It's called Dungeon Mesh. I think it's like, what's the, let me see, what's the,
Dungeon Meshing?
yeah, that's a localized title. If I can find it.
Something Sydney set aside for.
Delicious in Dungeon. It's soon to be animated with the Studio Trigger.
Damn.
So general story. The plot is that is heavily inspired by the D&D because there's a lot of D&D lore related monsters popping up. The story is the main character Laios. He had a previous party. He and his previous party traveled the dungeon. It's like typical RPG. One of them happened to be his sister, but she was eaten by the monster. And then...
No.
Yes.
Well,
No.
I suppose
Yes.
this is goodbye then.
Maybe.
Continue.
So after he survived the attack, he forms a new party to and travel back into the dungeon to rescue, hopefully, in hopes to find his sister and revive her. They travel back into the dungeon, but on the way, one of their party member is Dwarf, who happens to have a knowledge of how to cook monsters in dungeon. So you might see, like, he might make a like hot pot with the mushroom type monsters, or like, well, what he did with that mimic monster. I don't know what he cooked them as, but yeah, hence the name Dungeon Mesh or Delicious in Dungeon. It's every chapter it's them eating a new monster in a different way.
All food porn.
Basically, even though it's not real food, but you know, try not to read this when you're hungry. But surprisingly, the writing on this series is tight, real tight. A lot of world building. You know, I'm sure that's something Andrew would appreciate, and that has good pacing. Wow, what started 2014? Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's definitely
That was
on
something
the.
I was going to ask is how long do we expect this to be?
She's still here.
What do you mean? Was it a weekly? For
The
9
story.
years?
Yeah, like.
So it's only there's about total of 97 chapters. It was a monthly release, and there was a break in between for sure.
Remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the
But yeah, it's definitely highly recommended on my list.
Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost.
Yeah, and it's, you know, the fact that it's been completed, you know,
Don't mind having a few
makes
more
it better.
boys around to keep them animals at bay. I ain't daft after all.
And then I found another isekai trash. Guess what the story premises of this one is?
Killed by truck can.
Actually, I didn't say.
Guy gets killed by truck and gets teleported to some kind of fantasy world where he has a cell phone, and maybe he's transformed into some kind of usually not sentient objects, and he's carried around by a hot chick who has like some manner of animal ears. How close am I?
You had 1/5 of it right.
Oh my god.
He does go to isekai, but no truck-gun was harmed in this one. But he gets isekai. Guess what he does in that new world?
Thank you, Clive.
He does a live streaming.
So, where were you thinking of making?
Oh, I saw that one. I don't know how much, but I even read.
Worse than Eastpool.
Eastpool.
But it's actually the good type of trash. Like I read, this is
tragedy.
Fuck, this is trash. I'm keeping reading
If
this.
any of us could have done anything to stop it, we would have. But
I think I read up to Assassin sneaking into his room.
Yep, you're at the. Yep, I passed that. A couple of chapters after that. Yep.
Light might be pressing in, but I reckon it's got a good few years.
You guys in isekai trash is like me in romance trash. but mine's like easier to relate to, I think.
I usually read it to, like, if I have downtime at work, it's kind of like, oh, what's this? And I like can binge a handful of chapters, or within the first few panels, go, nope.
If my boys didn't already have their hands full.
Yeah, give me fucking Nana or Orange or Domestic Girlfriend or
What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you want a domestic girlfriend?
That's not even the worst one. Give me fucking Scum's Wish.
What was it? Speaking of Nana, what was the story on that thing again? Like this author straight up gave up, or like health issue, or
she had a health issue, and she came back, and I think maybe she started working on something else that was like really slowly. But every once in a while, she like does, like she'll do like a one-off like art piece for Nana.
Okay.
So Wade.
There's so many stories.
The Nana anime is really good, but it's hard to suggest continuing to read after the anime ends.
So Wade.
I don't know what exactly, but I may have an idea why you say that stuff. I kind of come across that on my own.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with Domestic Girlfriend, oddly enough.
And make it your own.
That's right.
Except Domestic Girlfriend's actually finished.
My men have been treading on her toes somewhat since
joining
us, not to mention the others. And then there are the bearers, men and women who found the courage to flee their masters and sought refuge.
I haven't really come across anything else recent other than that that villainous one. I should actually do a write up on. That's all nice and tight in 3 volumes and done.
Nice. I still haven't read the manga about the guy who ends up with like 1,000 girlfriends, but I think I'm gonna start reading it too. Oh, it's 100?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start reading it soon, I think.
It is I mean, some of them are definitely
feels like it's right up my alley.
Yeah, some of them are like typical character you see in the rom-com, and then like and some of them like, really? This is new. Well, like once in a while, like, this is a new type of character. Alright. Concept-wise, yeah.
So you've read it?
Oh yeah. Just, I blazed through each chapter. I just want to see what kind of new characters get introduced. So the pattern is basically... The pattern, well, it kind of... So in the beginning, it wasn't like this, but definitely...
it's like a monster of the week, but the monster's the girlfriend.
Yeah. So in the past, in the very beginning, the author would linger with a new character about 3-4 chapters, but after a while, I think the author just so fucking tired of it. So the pattern is, new character gets introduced. Of course, they fall in love because that's what exactly the author intended. And then after that, the new girl causes some shenanigans that affects the whole
harem, the whole amorphous blob of relationships.
Yeah, and you get resolved. Shit, there's a time for this kind of thing, right? Like something crazy happened, but the next episode they act like nothing happened.
Oh, so they reach parody. It's just called episodic.
Episodic, yeah.
As opposed to serial.
Yeah. So like something becomes consistent or canonical, but something like non-canonical. But yeah. So the pattern just new girl, group shit, new girl, group shenanigan again. Yeah, that's a pattern basically. I'm not sure if it's actually good. It seems like the Few the Immortal is reaching the end.
Oh, is it? I kind of gave it a rest after shortly into Act 2.
So I'm not confirming it, but like the flow-wise, it's approaching the end. So I gotta keep reading it.
Okay.
Cause like how did this latest chapter end? Oh, okay, never mind. I take it back. Something changed. There was something at the end. Like, oh, fucking A. Something just got reintroduced, so I'm gonna wait on it.
Open tornado.
Oh,
the
break. Okay. Carry on.
Andrew, the series you recommended, Isekai as the StarCraft player.
Oh my fucking god.
The one with the bug kit.
Yes.
So the
the English translation for that turned into dog shit, so I haven't been able to come back to reading that.
But the quote-unquote Act 1 finish, not very satisfying, I'll tell you that much.
Okay. That's an interesting premise.
It is.
So that's like you can say about a lot of things.
They kind of did the player 2 has entered the game.
Well,
Okay.
StarCraft can have up to 8 players, Jihun.
Did I ask for your opinion?
Like the same things happening in that there's a guy from the RTS or whatever.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one also did. But at least that one, interestingly, the other players actually have a different game.
Yeah, Dragon Quest. I don't know what the other ones were.
Typical isekai harem character. And then.
Hey Andrew, have you started playing Yakuza games yet?
No.
Seriously, what the fuck, man?
I'm too busy playing nothing.
Oh no.
And buying more games.
But have you played everything?
I actually have never played everything.
Me neither.
Honestly, 3, 4, 5 is so hard to recommend.
Yeah. I'd probably just skip them. Play 0 through 2 and then go to 6 and then 7. Or if you're only going to play 1, I would suggest specifically Andrew play 7.
I guess 7 is good place because it's a new game and you don't really need to know a lot about the past characters.
But I think Andrew would get the most out of 7, him personally, because he's a big Dragon Quest fan.
Oh, right. Oh, people are pissed about the new Dragon Quest 3 remake. Port for the Nintendo Switch. Everybody pissed. You wanna guess why?
What are you talking about?
Is it got like a fucking narrow font or something? I don't know anything about it. I didn't even know there was a remake coming.
I think it was announced for Japanese only, but yeah. Let's see, Dragon Quest Monsters. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
There's a remake. There's a Dragon Quest Monsters 3.
That's the one. I am so sorry. Yeah, that's
demo dropped in Japan just recently. People are upset about the demo. Not really. It's like, oh, it's gonna carry forward, but then you also can't like recruit any good monsters in it.
No, they're just pissed that you know the dancer's sister?
Yeah, Mina and
Fire or something, yeah. They get them more dress and they're pissed. Just like the Ada Wong situation is. That's why people are mad.
I mean, they're kind of like in the original games, kind of scantily clad dancers, I guess.
Yeah. One of them had had a bikini armor, but now on the Dragon Quest Monster 3, they wear something and they put the bikini armor on top of it. So they're like, what the fuck?
Well, they should be canon-wise. They should be younger characters now because you play as the villain of the Dragon Quest IV story, but as a young boy. Oh. Like each Dragon Quest game, like the monster, like any kind of offshoot Dragon Quest game that like references stuff, usually it has like you play as a character from one of the games. Like Terry in Dragon Quest Monsters is one of the most powerful characters that, like one of the last ones to join you in Dragon Quest VI. I know Tornico, who's the salesman in Dragon Quest IV shows up in several games as his like own, protagonist.
A magnificent display, my lord.
And you're playing as Sorrow, the villain of Dragon Quest IV and Dragon Quest
Oh,
IV, or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
We were.
So this is definitely kind of back to the initial topic we started, but so last week when Andrew, last week or the week before, Andrew bailed out quick because he was somewhere else. We had a viewer who was complaining how Final Fantasy Remake.
It might be best to send word for them to come right
myself
away.
onto with the chair.
Before any other
Final Fantasy VII Remake was like, oh, they were not so faithful to the original. Like, why did they have to quote unquote like improve it or change a lot of things?
Oh yeah, that was actually 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then he also at the same time he brought out like Resident Evil 2 and 3. I'm like, that that made me think a little bit afterward, because like if you think about it, 2, 3 did change.
They did.
Because like because like if they're real faithful to the original series, then you get the Resident Evil 1 remake with the tank control and everything, and guess how that turned out to be? A lot of people hated it.
Yeah, and like Resident Evil 2 and 3, like instead of having like the pre-rendered backgrounds and like the stationary camera and stuff, it had like an over-the-shoulder camera, you know, things like that.
Yes.
That changes a lot.
Yeah, so now I know this, for me to saying this stuff when the guy is not here is kind of useless, and then also at the same time, even if he was here, I think he's the type to just keep on arguing. So I'll just end that like with the saying that like things change, and there's even if you actually make an exact copy of the old game, it only it'll make people angry as well. So honestly, remake business there's no winner in the remake business. You just gotta think what is the best and keep rolling with it. I'll end it with that saying.
I feel like both extremely faithful remakes and also extremely unfaithful remakes are both valid. You know, sometimes you just want the challenge of like, you know, let's do something similar but different in this world, you know, like that kind of thing. Like I think both of them are valid. So like I don't mind if like a new version of a game comes out and significantly changes stuff. Like I thought the Demon Souls remake was really well done.
Oh yeah, that's an exact copy, right? Or was there some bit of an improvement?
There's improvement.
It's kind of in the middle, I feel.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
What did it improve? I thought everything was about the same.
I just like the gameplay.
Yeah, so they changed. So like one thing that I can point to is they changed the actual layout of the Flame Lurkers arena where you fight him, because he could get stuck on the geometry in the original game, and that was like the way you cheesed him. And they made it so it's not as simple to do that.
See,
Stuff like that. Stuff like that.
Right from here.
They added some like weapons and armor.
I'll build a barricade so sturdy, even abandoned.
Which I don't know. Like maybe you would think that in other games it doesn't matter very much, but it matters a whole lot in Souls games. Like if you just add another weapon in there, you know.
Right. As far as remakes go, though, my preference is yeah, the original is always there. So it's like you still have the original version to play, and they even still continue to port it. You can play Final Fantasy VII even on newest consoles and PC, even though it might not be the greatest in that form. It's still available. I like it when a remake is done on something that was a stinker, big piece of shit. They kind of make something new and fun out of it. Or like the quote-unquote remaster, where it's just like they still have the source code and just make the game look better, maybe add a couple things.
Did Wade say that?
Like they're
Something along those
quote,
lines.
it's an actual remake for Super Mario
Souls might have made
RPG,
it to his
and
school.
the
Their work ain't done yet.
So are you speaking of which? Are
they
you?
had this week. Go ahead.
Neither is mine.
So speaking of, since you brought that up, like, are you guys excited with the recent Nintendo Direct announcement?
There wasn't really anything in there. Though it does have the Paper Mario 2 game, which it's like one of my favorite games. It's like a fun, cozy game.
Yeah, Thousand Year Door.
I didn't watch it.
There is a bunch interesting in there.
Yeah.
I think that one happened probably 9 o'clock Eastern time, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, the major was like the Super Mario RPG and the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, which both of them I did not play, and also they are working on the remake of the Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yeah, all three will be on the Switch then, because I think they already had the Luigi's Mansion remake.
Yeah,
3 came out only like a year or two ago.
But now they're their own
and quote unquote,
I
guess
think I'm just done playing Switch games for now. I'm not going to be buying anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, just wait on the Swatch.
Yeah, the Swatch. The
And
Switch
then I
U.
think- and then the
New
quote
Switch U.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Switch Up.
The quote unquote craziest one was, I guess, they made a Tetris 99, but for F-Zero.
Now that looks pretty fun. I saw some streaming of that. That looks like a pretty fun little of all their interpretations of that, using one of their classic game IPs. I think that one looks like the most fun one to play.
And then Vanilla, where the makers of the Golden Sphere, and then
Oh yeah, they're making a new game.
like some kind of tactic game.
They grow fast and they fill a hole.
It looks a lot like Final Fantasy Tactics, the art style.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also spiritual successor to the Suikoden series. I forget what it's called. It's like 100 Heroes
Elgato
or
Chronicle or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's something I've known about for a while. I've actually backed that.
And they're just
Just patiently waiting.
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. And if he don't, well, I'll go up there and show him myself.
And let me see if I can find the article, like what exactly was announced. Everything announced at the Nintendo Direct or something. Also, bit of a sensitive topic. Next month, that place is open for some racist people or bigots for months.
There are a colorful group of people on the Nexus mods. It was crazy just like reading just the comments. Like I'm looking at the posts to see what people have to say about a particular mod, and like the mod author comes in and just comes across as just the biggest asshole imaginable. So no surprise at all that you find things like that there.
There were two recent mod that made me go like, really, people? You guys are freaking over this? Was first one was the Baldur's Gate 3. Do you want to take a guess what this crazy mod is?
My lord Marquis, is that it is you? Then you received.
I wasn't listening.
Okay, cool. One of the mod. Apparently, there's a black dude in the Baldur's Gate 3.
Of course.
Yes, Will. Oh yeah, I saw that. You can make him white.
Yes, my lord.
I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm like, what?
And what was so
Yeah, that's rude.
Dude, what?
couldn't put it in writing.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
My lord. I
And then the second one is like,
I merely.
It's all right.
It's the Starfield. A lot of people. I don't know how much of this is actual outrage or like fucking stage outrage, but like, you know, Starfield is asking you to like designate your pronoun or he or she. And, like, there's a mod to get rid of. Like, come on, fucking, it's like part of English. You're supposed to be referred as he or she, even if you're not agree with that. The third option. How am I supposed to refer to you then? Oh, these people are so fucking idiot. But yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that mod, some of the people who upload the mod on that thing is just crazy. How do you live like that?
The thing I never understand, like the thing I keep coming back to is, you know, the situation where like you meet somebody, you know, like at the park or something, walking their dog, and you go like, oh, he's so cute, you know, and the owner corrects you like, oh, it's a she. You know, and you're like, oh, okay, well, she's so cute, right? And then there's people who won't extend that basic decency to a fucking human being.
The aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high
you know what I'm saying?
Alas, alas, I have lost contact with
I don't get it.
already.
There's a lot of hate out there.
They're both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not prove.
Oh, there's a Peach game.
Keep a man safe on the road.
Peach game.
Yeah, like a stage play kind of thing. It's kind of interesting. Not
like Princess Peach.
Yeah, and she's just
she picks up a fucking sword.
She's practically doing the whatchamacallit. I don't know if you know the name, but like there's an anime called the Cutie Honey.
Oh yeah.
Like where like one girl transforms to whatever job.
I shall pray for your success.
Yeah, that's what it is basically. And then I don't know either of you played a game called the DS game called Another Code.
Is that a fake game?
Or the which variant? In the US it was called the Trace Memory or something like that. It's you play as the Ashley Robin.
Oh, I'm thinking of Fate Unlimited codes.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's,
okay.
It's the game you play as a girl named Ashley, and she has a silver hair, and like it's the game where you solve a puzzle by blowing air into the DS.
Oh, I thought that was Professor Layton. Am I wrong?
No, Professor Layton never did that, as far as I know, at least.
Professor Layton had the stamp thing. That's what I'm.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm way off. Carry on. I'm sorry.
So yeah, it was called like.
I haven't played any of these games. Fuck them.
This is, I mean, Trace Memory. This is a game that I always see at the. Yeah, Another Code 2 Memories, known as Trace Memory in North America. The point and click adventure for the Nintendo DS. It's it's a game I always seen at the GameStop with the package, but like I never picked it up.
What brings you to Martha's Rest?
They're remaking it for the Switch, and they're also adding on top of that they're adding a second game that was never released in America.
The bearers from the Dragon's Eyrie confirmed a long-held
Memories of Trace Memories.
That the slaver we've been tracking is an old acquaintance. She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight
Guys,
away.
I've been having like really strong thought. Remember how when we were playing Mirrors, I was like, I want to make a game like this.
I'd say so.
Like, I think it would be really possible for us to like take some photos and make them real crunchy looking and write a script.
That Mirror.
I want to do this. I want to do that.
On the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial
escort. I really want to make pretty easily in Unity. Oh wait.
Yeah, just don't use Unity.
No, I was gonna. Isn't there like something that's like made from the ground up for visual novels called Twine or something?
Yeah, there are tools for like stuff like that.
So let's say spotlight of the Nintendo Direct. Splatoon 3 DLC seems like a single player mode, and then like kind of like a roguelike, and some Donkey Kong Mario game. Saga Frontier. I don't know if anybody was actually excited for that. And
wait, like
go ahead.
Saga Frontier, isn't that already on the Switch?
The new game, completely new game.
Oh, okay, like a new Saga Frontier. Okay.
Yeah, the new Saga.
Not the one that was on the
PlayStation.
What was it? Yeah, weren't they selling Saga Frontier as like a Final Fantasy game or something like
that? Those were Romancing Saga 1 and 2, I think.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's the one. Let's
Not
see.
Confusing in the slightest.
These are Gazal green seeds.
Yeah. And then Tomb Raider remake. Polygon Boobies back, baby.
You see, I had
fuck.
thought we might be able to revive.
I am not kidding. That they're not actually like. So it is original Tomb Raider, and you can switch between the. You can switch between the enhanced version versus original looking. Yeah, the triangular boob is back.
Isn't there a way to do that in the Tomb Raider reboots where she has like a skin that makes her classic Tomb Raider?
I don't remember if they let her have a triangular boob on that one. But anyway, let's see what else. The Detective Pikachu, and then Trombone Champ. Yeah, it's a Switch. Oh, they actually added an extra controller feature on that thing, which was fucking cool.
It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves.
Yeah, Luigi mentioned.
Guardians alike.
I'm pretty psyched to play the Thousand Year Door again. Unicorn Overlord, that's the new BanLeeware game. Oh, and then the another Wario game, a completely new Wario game for Switch.
I thought we'd have more time.
I think it seems like people seem to be happy about it because this time it is asking you to actually move your whole body to the like a.
Yeah, the way they do Just Dance, I guess, where you have like a watch thing.
Around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size.
So yeah, that was the big announcement.
Did they ever make any more games for the Ring Fit controller?
If reinforcements
no, they have not.
They do,
that's a bummer.
May just scrape through.
It is.
I fear that's rather an enormous if.
What? Well, it's a Ring Fit, so that means
the bearers. We brought them here so they might live.
Ring Fit is a Nintendo, so it has to be a Nintendo game, unless. I wonder if the third party can be like, oh, you know what? Can we implement the game for that controller? I wonder if that is possible.
Was it this Ring Fit Adventure?
Yes.
What help they are able to offer could still prove the difference between victory and defeat.
You're right, my lord.
I just remember for a long time people kept sending me screenshots of I guess like the bad guy in that game, because they reminded them so much of my D&D character I was playing.
My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter. To serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will. The home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a
Do either of you
chance,
have a Netflix?
just like I do.
Nope.
Just like
Not currently.
Okay.
We all wanted to give you a home where you could.
Were you gonna recommend something?
No, if anything, I was just kind of curious if any of you had a chance to watch the live-action Netflix.
Oh, One Piece.
What the fuck did I just say? What I just said? Goddamn, yeah, live-action One Piece, yeah.
Yeah, the live-action Netflix.
That was straight up running sentence. Like, come on, Brain, come on.
No, I haven't seen it. I've only seen like a couple episodes of regular One Piece. I listen to a podcast that does like rewatches of old Saturday morning cartoons and things like that. And they dipped into anime because of like Sailor Moon and things like that. And so like every once in a while they'll do like Robotech, but they like introduce something new where they spin the wheel of One Piece and they do a random number generator of like 1 to 1,000 and then watch that number of episode of One Piece. And then they just like talk about it. Fucking dive into, you know, like episode 681 of One Piece.
I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own.
One Piece is real.
And now that I have, I
Too
don't
fucking
want
long.
to lose it.
I think anime is also like
Or die trying.
already went over like 1,000 episodes or something like that. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Fighting together. For Eastpool. For Eastpool.
I have not been paying attention to the story at all. What is happening?
No, but
here?
this one seems like it actually got like a budget to it. Like, we're not just delivering soup to people. This seems kind of important.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing.
Wonder how many good
You'll
boy
show them
brownie
how
points we get
freeborn
out of this
fight.
quest.
Right.
Gladly.
You get the best gloves out of the last turn in. I forgot what those were called. You turn in your glory
Well,
points.
okay.
it was numbers
Yeah, I
you
think
were
it's glory.
lacking. You certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me?
Well, there was a
Oh, I used to love
fucking...
the sound of my own voice.
None of us are sports people, so it's gonna be hard to deliver the exact story. But wasn't there like sports news and like how this player got bought for like a couple million, but like he played for 1 round and he hurt his leg and he doesn't have to play anymore because he made a deal like that?
Oh yeah, good for him.
Creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know fuck about shit.
I am. We will have neither the time
How
nor
could
the
you not know
resources to
fuck
treat
about
the
shit? You
wounded,
make
so
shit.
injuries must be avoided
I don't
at
know
all
shit about
costs.
fuck.
Instead, we will focus
But you
purely
fucked
on
different
defense
people already.
first.
3 different people
By
at
coordinating our
least.
withdrawal through the use of
At least,
messengers
yes.
drawn from among the bearers, we
You
will aim
deny
to have us all
it.
converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point
Yeah,
will
as far as I
be
know, you
somewhere.
dated 3 times.
The perfect place for our most able warriors
there's
to
more
surround
people
them
that I don't know.
and fall upon them. And for you and I
So-
to finish them off.
Been a
sound
few
plan.
more than 3.
But one that'll require a leader with a cool head.
Oh,
and
damn it, you
strong
reached the
nerves
2
to
digit.
coordinate the retreat.
No.
I'd say you have both in abundance. Wade,
Wait.
but you'll be needed.
Going on dates?
Leave the last of
Maybe.
the fighting to me.
But
And let you have all the
not
glory.
not like anything more than that.
Okay.
Then you know,
You know,
what you must
so that kind of so the quick thing about quick note about that. It's funny, like when a man has a mini body count, like people are like, oh fuck, that guy know how to fuck around. But when a woman has a mini body count, like, oh my god, that girl's a whore. Double standard.
We've no
Holy
time
shit,
to
is
argue, my
Jihun
lord.
radicalizing?
I'll do as you ask.
I will do as you ask.
Is this happening?
Hey man,
better do
I'm
our bit too,
degenerate.
then, eh?
I may be degenerate, but not idiot degenerate. What do you think about that? Do you agree or disagree? How that double
Yeah,
standard is?
Yeah, it's messed up.
You're a degenerate?
What do you think? I'm still
No,
single.
I agree you're a degenerate.
The calm before the storm.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, Jihun. It's fucked up.
And here it comes.
That's a lot of double standard, unfortunately. When one gender does it, it's like praised upon, but like it's praised, but they get praised for it. But like if it's the same thing is done by different gender, like
Yeah.
they get like frowned upon. Like, oh my god, why would you do that or something? It's crazy.
Like, I will go on. I don't know if this is like a hot take or not, but for me, there's kind of a line for, you know, both genders, obviously. Like, once you like cross a certain line, I feel like you've done something wrong to get there, or something very right, I guess. But in most cases, probably something wrong. Like you're probably like a user or abuser if you've reached like a certain amount.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's kind of fair to say.
I mean, also like if a woman is sitting in the park and then looking, watching the kids playing in the playground, nobody bats an eye. But when it's a guy that does it, everyone's like, "Oh my god, is that guy a pedophile?" or something like that.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of that kind of like profiling comes from how you look, how you dress, how you carry yourself, that sort of thing.
Oh, so this one time, when I was still in Nuka and I was babysitting my little nephew, and then there was actually a playground around my area, and I just took him there and I had him play around, like, let him get himself tired, and then just playing around, and I was just minding my own business on my phone, and some woman approached me like, "Excuse me, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "Oh my god, you see this?" I was like, "Is this really happening? Is this lady asking this question because of what I'm thinking it is?" And I just told her, "I'm gonna walk my nephew over there."
Well, the better half of her guard is
But
here.
yeah,
So wait,
it was ridiculous. The fact that the woman approached me like asking what I'm doing. I'm like, fucking nephew, what else?
Yeah, going back to what I was saying previously, when I was in college, I knew a guy who had supposedly a body count well into the 3 digits.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, and I don't know how you get there without, you know, like
STD.
using people, you know?
Mm-hmm. That too. I mean, there are definitely some people, not just college, I guess, but like, what do you call this? Quote unquote pickup artist. You know, they just know how to choose their word wisely, and then something like the way they say, like, and it makes a woman agree to the one night stand or something.
Ready, go?
Yeah. I hate that shit. I hate like that was one of the things that like really was like the final straw for me on Kick, because like it didn't seem like it was very much about like video games anymore. Like the community drifted away from video games and more towards this, like, I want to call it like male advice, but it was like pickup culture and like hustle culture and like
Well, there was a one guy,
like Andrew Tate kind of guys, but there was one like him, yeah.
There was another, like, there was this guy who was streaming in Japan. I don't know if you ever saw that dude, but like,
you're gonna have to be more specific.
Okay, like, that's enough for me, fam. Just a moment. Yeah, and then the guy was extreme, like, to get the attention from Japanese people. He was screaming some sensitive word, like, I said, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And what is it? And then the guy is still streaming, and guess where he's streaming at? Kick.
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Because, like, yeah, if you were to do that on the Twitch, then he would be banned like a long time ago, or at least like temporary ban. But yeah, Kick is allowing that shit, and he's still in Japan. And a lot of people are like, why doesn't get that guy deported? But like, based on some people are saying like, Japan's not gonna deport that dude unless he actually commit a crime. And then even the Yakuza doesn't want to touch him because, like, as much as Yakuza like to, the real Yakuza like to harass people for money, they don't want to get involved with like international and all that kind of stuff. Like,
Yakuza is pretty much just like a regular company now, ain't it? Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. They're hiding.
They're like a fucking investment firm now, basically, is my understanding.
Yeah, because Yakuza a long time ago. Now, granted, I'm not a history major on this topic, but they were like gangster. Like, they acted like they're a righteous gangster, but in the very beginning, at least. But as time goes on, they became more corrupt, and then straight up mafia of Japan. But things have changed. I don't know what exactly happened. I might have to actually do some study on this, but they became powerless, and they they still do some shady things in the business, but they still, they at the same time they still hide from the police.
I hesitate to say it, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be over.
But yeah, even like some people are saying they're paying. Local Japanese people are paying Yakuza to maybe harass him or something like that to a certain extent, but not actually. But not, at the same time, not actually hurt him because that would actually cause unwanted attention for that specific Yakuza group. So
No,
Yeah.
Sir Wade.
but yeah, most of his stream highlight is basically him getting kicked.
Showed us what
He
it means
was
to fight for what you
not
hold
kicked,
dear.
but
We never had nothing.
jumped by either local Japanese or some another foreigner in Japan, like who's tired of it. That guy's antic.
We really do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people saved us, and still we doubted you. But there's no.
But at least he's he's already in Japan. That's why he's not getting deported. But there was a one guy a long time ago, the so-called pickup artist, who promised he can get in the bed with any lady. One of his tactics for Japanese ladies were straight up choking them.
Come on then.
Like out of nowhere, he start choking. Like he be having a conversation with them, and out of nowhere he start choking them because like yeah, Japanese women like rough, and they're like, he's like oh, and then they like it to be they're submissive, so you gotta show them who's the boss. And then the video circulated, and then I think Japan straight up denied his visa even before entering.
Yeah. Okay. Got any other topics?
See, this is. I mean,
this is what he would have wanted.
I got to check out a bunch of recruits this week.
For what?
Remain here, my lord.
So
Do what I can to
we
help you.
had like a symposium kind of thing for that was across 2 days. It was pretty neat. Lots of attaboys and the like from the organization. I had to dress up in a sports jacket, and I was kind of taking photographs the whole day for one of them, but the other one was a little bit more relaxed. But we finished off the week with the last bit that the lab does with the recruits at their school. So I'm like focused on photography. Another one was on fingerprints, trace evidence, all that kind of stuff. The day before, when I got to grade, effectively kind of like look over the photographs they took for their homework assignment. Like, I looked at them as soon as I got their SD cards. I went down to my boss's office and I asked her how mean can I be later? Because these photos are garbage. There's absolutely like all pieces of shit. And I started the meeting when we had them down in the conference room later that day by telling them that if I was grading them, I'd give them all Fs. And then
Holy shit!
proceeded to just critique everything they did, which was fairly exhausting.
Oh man!
On the day of, they
can we
did
get
better
into
job.
like an example, Andrew?
What do you mean?
Just like blurry photographs where
Oh, like out of
kinda
focus?
explaining them how to use the thing. It's like make use of.
Every time I would think back to the look in
You
your
can kind of
eyes
tell
that
they were
day
probably
and
flipping
remember
around
what it
between
means.
auto and manual, and you can definitely tell when they used auto.
Oh yeah, auto always has like a certain look to it.
But just like actually, switching your lenses around, using the tripod. Half of them didn't even use their tripods. The one group I gave them, I said A for effort, but F for the result was where they were trying to get a photograph of like an article of mock evidence on top of a bed, and they couldn't figure out how to get the tripod high enough. So one of them was riding on the shoulders of the other, with the camera facing down to try to get it like a top-down photograph, which was like a blurry piece of crap. The scene was better, but each group was like successively worse as I was like looking at their photographs. With the final one, kind of like tell them like, oh, this turned out well, this turned out well. I'm like, that's cut the bullshit. And like, as I'm like kind of going over their photographs, like he used auto for like everything on the scene, and like only sparingly used the tripod. But it was fun. It was fun ribbing them. I'm curious how the other photographer will feel when she comes back. She's been at a wedding this week. We've been usually doing this as a duo. This is my first time kind of doing it just on my own with them. So I'm curious if she would have also. I can tell she doesn't have the personality that I do, or I would be as blunt as I was with them.
Thank you, Martha.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be one of those. Well, you definitely don't have a personality for it, but you'd be professor known for like professor known for like not having anybody pass the class.
Yeah, I don't mince my words. Like I was critical where it was appropriate, but I was also like positive where I could be. All the groups had similar issues where, you know, they like doing an overall mid-range close-up with measure, try to have it kind of like on an appropriate plane. Like if you're trying to photograph something top down, you know, trying to have it positioned in just a certain way, like kind of filling the frame.
And then are they also trying to be in the same job field as you did in the past, or?
I mean, those are crime scenes that they were working, so they were documenting and collecting evidence from mock scenes, basically.
Oh, okay.
In fact, that's
Okay,
how
okay.
I met him, or at least how he came to meet me.
You had one group that brought their gear right into the mock scene, and I was watching the entire time, and they never found a piece of evidence because their gear was right on top of it.
Holy fuck!
Because we were the ones who planted everything on their scenes.
Wow,
I was like eyeing it the whole time. I'm like, did they ever find that cigarette butt? It's like, nope.
Wow, that's.
And before I knew it,
wow, that sounds like almost a beginner problem.
It's. I mean, this is all this is only like halfway through their class. We're kind of done with them at this point. They're just with the instructors there at the facility, but it's all a learning process. I can tell which ones were clearly eager, which ones really had good heads on their shoulders, the ones who were really trying. But I'd say the group is some of the best I've seen from there, as far as where I can see them being effective later down the line. Like, I think more than half are ex-military.
What?
So it's like the most, probably the biggest of like that group that they've had in those classes before. Not as many previous law enforcement.
Well, if you're ex-military, I think you get higher chance of getting a federal job. So good on them.
Yes.
Indeed.
There is veterans preference.
Yeah, I think some people, I forgot how this topic came to it, but some people are saying like, well, yeah, like, since I was in the military, I have a higher chance of getting a city job or government job in general. And I was like, is that right? Maybe I should get into that too. Maybe not. Yeah.
It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope.
I don't know if I can go through that military training at this. I was fairly old at the time too, but like, because honestly, you can only I feel like you can handle that military training at a younger age.
And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
Definitely the physical part.
Sounds like a wonderful idea.
Yeah, but did you ever feel like joining the military?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I kind of had an idea because I was kind of desperate for anything. Because you gotta admit, those people, they get to you when you're desperate, you know, for whatever. Either money or any type of job. Yeah. So I was kind of thinking about it, but I never got to. It's the fact, you know, the physical shit, I don't know if I could handle it, so whenever I got to that part, like, maybe, but I don't think I handle the training, and then I just keep changing my mind.
So
God,
about
there
the
are
game.
so many exclamation marks.
Yeah, so about the game. What I am getting from this is we've played for an hour and a half and we have not scratched the surface. But I think we're going to take a break and come back and charge through the story for 2 YouTube videos worth. if that's okay with you guys.
Sure. There'll only be more as we keep progressing through the game.
Yeah, well, another thing I'm seeing is you actually see it on the right side of the screen. Some of them are locked until you, I guess, reach like a later point in the story.
I don't know how any of that works.
Yeah. Or maybe the NPCs are predisposed because they're at like different locations for story reasons or something. Who knows? But an hour and a half is about as much as I can take of that. We did see one that had like some effort put in, like it wasn't just like put 3 bowls of soup on a table. So that was nice. But I think we'll call the side quest episode done and take a break and come back in a little bit here.
We're done talking then. Side quest episodes basically for us to like just release everything. Release everything topic.
Yeah, release it all. I feel I did get the feeling we had a lot of pent up talking to accomplish.
This week was kind of crazy, so
yeah. I had a lot of major life news happen to me, so but yeah, and it'll be interested to see how this video comes out on YouTube. I don't even know if like the beginning part of this video is like even if I even have it. So I'll find out during the break. But that's it for now. Come join us again for the next part. Woo!